Firuz Mavi, you're a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee for the National Council of Resistance of Iran. You're here today in Brussels to open an exhibit. What is this exhibit about?
Basically, this exhibition is a photo exhibition to commemorate the 99th anniversary of a big massacre which happened in summer of 1988, where by the fatwa of Ayatollah Khomeini, who was the leader of this Islamic fundamentalist regime, who issued a fatwa, a religious decree to execute over 30,000 political prisoners who belonged to the main opposition, PMOI.
And do many people know about this? I see that Amnesty International have written a report. Is it widely known about?
Well, recently, after we started the campaign, this campaign started, in fact, when the Iranian resistance president, Madam Maryam Rajavi, began a big international campaign to seek justice for the victims of this massacre last year. Then it had some momentum. And Amnesty International and other organizations have been active on that, and they have recently made reports, and also several UN reports submitted by the UN Secretary General. It was mentioned about the massacre.
And you're calling on a proper independent investigation at a UN level. Is there support for that in Europe?
Well, we are trying to get this done in order to have a full investigation, because the Iranian regime has tried to hide this. All of these victims, they were put into mass graves, and even so the families even don't know where to grieve for the loved ones. So we're trying to seek justice, so the people who were responsible would be put into justice, including members of the cabinet of Rouhani, because in the Rouhani's cabinet, the former justice minister and the present justice minister happen to be members of the death committee, who ordered the executions of these 30,000 political prisoners in 1988. So we are facing with a regime which basically is the same regime as 30 years ago.
Knowing who is involved in that regime, knowing that their connection to that massacre, how do you feel about the Iran nuclear deal?
Basically, Iranian regime wanted to become nuclear, and we, of course, we wanted to stop it. Our movement, the National Council of Resistance, was the first movement which revealed 2 nuclear sites, in fact, many years ago, and we blew the whistle, in fact. So we are very happy that in order to stop the nuclear ambitions of the Iranian regime. But unfortunately, the European Union is only worried about the nuclear deal and worried about doing business with Iran. And they're not much concerned about human rights situation. That's why we're trying to tell the Europeans, and we have a lot of support in the European Parliament and many European lawmakers, to put human rights first, to put women's rights first, and to say that you have to condition your relationship with the mullahs, with the Iranian regime, to a suspension of executions and to clear progress of human rights and women's rights.